Welcome to this week's episode of Talk of the Town. My name is Philip Swiskett, and I am back with my good friend and co-host, Dr. Kenneth Harper from Vein Specialist of the South. Now, if you have any questions about your veins, give my friends at Vein Specialist of the South a call, and they will get you the answers that you need. We are here in beautiful downtown Macon, Georgia at the Macon Arts Alliance, which is literally in the heart of downtown Macon. And we are so excited because we are here with one of Macon's most premier photographers, and that is Dsto Moore. Dsto, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I've been excited about us having this chance to catch up with you, Dsto, since we met. It was back last fall, I think, when you had the exhibit here at the Macon Arts Alliance. So later on, I want you to tell us a little bit about the inspiration for that exhibit. But since then, we've become friends, chatting, some on texting, Facebook, and I've seen what you've done to try to promote Macon and promote particularly Pleasant Hill neighborhood and people who maybe not have an opportunity for folks to know about. So we're excited about this today. I think you were telling me you grew up in one of Macon's premier neighborhoods, Pleasant Hill. Tell me a little bit about the neighborhood and what your inspiration is for the neighborhood as far as how that photography might inspire young men and women there.
Okay, I grew up in Pleasant Hill. I'm second generation on Pleasant Hill. My grandparents moved there 70 plus years ago. I grew up over there. I love the neighborhood, the people over there, the general people over there. Pleasant Hill was a neighborhood, it was a prominent black neighborhood back in the day. Had like doctors, lawyers, all kind of professionals over there. Wait a little bit before my time with my mom growing up there. So I came at the end of like the heyday a little bit of it, in the 80s and the 90s. Growing up with my grandmother and my mom and some of the people, my sister and so many people around us and everything. A lot of love over there.
And you're committed to bringing some of that back.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Yes,
it's coming back.
So that's the story today is a little bit about Pleasant Hill. It's a lot about Dsto and how he's making a difference, and maybe you're thinking about how you can make a difference.
You know, Dsto, Pleasant Hill is such an integral part of the story of Middle Georgia. You know, it's really difficult if you're not familiar with Middle Georgia to be able to talk about this area and not talk about Pleasant Hill. Tell us, because I know you've done a lot of photography over there. I was on your website. You've got some fantastic pictures, some incredible portraits of extremely authentic people and the journey that they have taken in that area of Macon. Is there one that comes to mind that really stands out to you that says, man, this specific story, this represents Pleasant Hill?
Oh wow, that's a great question. Because every story, every portrait on my website from the Pleasant Hill project is meaningful. So one of my favorite people is my grandmother. My grandmother meant a lot to me because when I was growing up, she kind of raised me. My mom worked all the time, so she raised me when she was at work. And my grandmother, she raised like 4 or 5 generations of kids in the neighborhood. So her house was like the daycare, the unofficial daycare in the neighborhood. So I had like so many cousins, like so many play cousins and real cousins over there. So every day, it was like a journey to go over there and meet new people. Like it was always having fun. Like it's like a playhouse. Like I'm like your own personal YMCA. So y'all have fun over there.
So what did everybody call you, Grandma?
Clara. The Clara. So and you go there right now. She passed away like 4 years ago. But you go there and people still talk about it because she always gave. And what I teach, like one thing she taught me is about giving, and also teach my kids about this right here, man. Like you can't receive with a ball of hand. You got to give to receive. So and there's a lot of my portraits on my website. A lot of people I photographed on Pleasant Hill. It's about giving, man. A lot of people, the stories were never been told. And my inspiration behind some of those stories from Pleasant Hill, my mom grew up over there. She'll tell stories about people who live in the neighborhood, but there's no pictures of them. So now, I'm like a historian of Pleasant Hill in my own way.
Now, Dsto, there's a lot of Phillips in the world. There's a lot of Kens in the world, but I think there's only one Dsto. Can you tell us about the name and where it came from?
It's a funny story behind the name, but but I'm gonna tell you what it stands for. It stands for don't stop trying to overcome.
Nice.
So it's all about going to your dreams and goals in life, man. Like keep on pushing, because people may see my story of even how I ended up on what you taught you guys, man. it was been manifested. I worked hard and everything. I didn't go to school for this. I picked the camera up and started shooting and started making an impact in the world, because those are one of my biggest things in the world. My purpose is I want to make an impact. All the awards, the TV shows, the money, all the stuff will come, man. They'll be like a bonus, but I won't be effective though. So it's all about giving people their flowers while they still can smell them, man. So it's way bigger than Dsto, man. So I'm going on about it.
I love it.
That's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful goal, that living life with an open hand.
Yeah.
I think that's what we talk about a lot, is giving back to the community. You mentioned, when did you take your first picture that you can remember, or have your first camera?
First, like I said, my ex and I got a camera off QVC, and we started taking photos. So my first maybe photo, man, woo, I knew it was bad. It was pretty bad. So
we don't want to see that one.
Yeah.
Everybody starts somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah, you got to start somewhere.
I think you told me it was about 7 or 8 years ago when you really got serious.
I don't remember. We made a photo of my kids or something like that. Yeah. And at the time, I was like, wow, this is a great photo. But I look at it now, like, nah.
So what kind of camera do you use this time?
Well, I use a Nikon, it's like an older camera now, Nikon D700. It's an older camera, but it is something about the sense in that camera, man. Is
it digital or?
It's a DSLR.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, do you have some pictures of your grandfather? I think you told me he passed away last year. I know that you had a connection with him.
Oh, you had a big connection with my granddad, yeah.
He was 100 years old.
100 years old.
And he spent most of his adult life there, your grandmom in Pleasant Hill. So that's very, very inspirational.
Yeah.
And when we look back at people who influence you, you told me that it was your grandma and your grandfather that really instilled a lot of the values that you are exhibiting today, and you're passing on to your own children.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that journey of, I mean, you were a full-time go-to-work, 40-hour plus week guy, right? And then tell me about the moment you decided, I'm going to make a change.
Yeah. So the moment, it was like, I used to work for Coca-Cola, so I used to love my job, love the people, but it wasn't fulfilling to me. Yes, it was a paycheck coming every week and all this stuff, but I believe I always wanted more out of life. When I put my 2-week notice in, my supervisor, they understood, because there's something I really wanted to do, and I had been doing it about 2 or 3 years. On my days off, I was doing weddings, I was doing all kinds of photo shoots on my days off or after work. So they something I had a passion for it and everything. So they gave me the open, like, you can go for it. If you ever have to fall back on Coca-Cola, the doors are open. We want you to go fulfill your dreams. Right. And 4 years later, I'm still doing it.
Wow,
Yeah.
You're still doing it.
Yeah, I'm still doing it.
So whenever I take pictures, they just don't look like yours. You know, you clearly have this natural knack for it, but it sounds like that there's also been a lot of hard work that's gone into it to really be able to hone your skill and to be able to craft it. And so I'm just kind of curious, where would you put the balance, and I'm going off script here, but where would you put the balance between natural ability versus hard work? Is this something that just really came natural to you, or did you say, hey, I'm going to really put some hard work into this, I'm going to grind it out, and I'm going to get better? Or was it a little bit of both?
It was a little bit of both. Naturally, when I was growing up, I was very shy. Some kind of way I got the gift of gab. I think I passed down from my mom. My mom talked to everyone. So I believe I got the gift of gab from her. So when I came to start doing photography, the gift of gab kind of helped me to meet new people. And because the hardest thing you do is let me take your photo to a total stranger.
Yeah.
You had no work. That was before I had a website, anything photo. Can I take your picture? So people who are you? And after that, a lot of no's, and I got a whole saying about no means missed opportunity. So I
love that.
So I got a lot of no's, and over the years, like you said, I kept practicing. Went to a couple of classes, took a little classes downtown, and YouTube University, and started using working with other people who know what they were doing. So and I learned from those people. I had no ego. That's one thing I never had no ego. I don't mind carrying nobody's bags. I don't mind doing nothing. I don't know, so I got to learn some kind of way. So.
What a great attitude to have when breaking into something like this. You're essentially saying you were willing to do whatever it took to make it happen. Yeah. And look at you now. Here you are.
Still am willing to.
You're still here, yeah.
I still work with another great photographer named Matt Odom. We work together, and I still work with him, assist him all the time. So it's all about each one teach one, and the next person behind me who want to learn, I can tell the stuff I know about, and they can keep it on. I only train a couple of people behind me, so it's all about giving back, man.
That's fantastic.
Dsto, tell us about the We Are Pleasant Hill project that you did. Kind of when you did that, where can people see it, and what inspired you, and what did you learn from it?
The We Are Pleasant Hill project is a project. I went around Pleasant Hill, the neighborhood, photographing people inside the neighborhood that had stories that need to be told. So, some of the people older, and I wanted to be the person to tell the story of those people for my children's generation, and the next generation, my great grandkids, know these people, stories and everything. So there's a project dear to me. I only did 20, 25 people so far, maybe.
Are you still working on it?
Oh, it's a forever project. Okay. It's never gonna stop. So it's so many people to photograph. So it's very dear to my heart. So coming out that project over there, Macon, we got a wall inside of Ukraine, like the Pleasant Hill wall. So we honor some of the people on the wall. The picture coming up soon in a little while, but so it's all about honor. It's all about giving people their flowers while they still can smell them. And some people in the Pleasant Hill can't afford like a photo shoot. So I've been given the ability to take nice photos. So I gotta give back. Like there's something in me. I got like when you're gonna get blessed, you gotta give to receive. So.
And speaking of that project, and you mentioned You Create Macon, I saw on your website you had Sharice Stevens, who's head of You Create Macon.
Yeah.
You had a great portrait of her.
Yeah.
She does really important work in educating some underprivileged youth in the city about health and food issues.
Yeah.
She does great work over there. Also, I saw you had Mike Seekins at
Yeah.
Famous Mike's, who I'm convinced has the best breakfast in town.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness,
Mike's a cool guy.
It's just fantastic. And so I'm really curious about your next project. What do you think is next for you? What do you think that next project might be?
The next project, wow, man, like I have some of the projects I'm working on now, but I'm a sucker for stories. So my next project may be whatever. I might get an idea at 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe like. So it's kind of hard to say what is my next true project gonna be. So like I would love to start back to take a walk in my shoes project again, maybe part 2 of that, but I never know. I got some of the project. One project I'm working on is kind of dear to my heart. It's called Making a Living, like MACON, a living. So it's a project about people, everyday people, like people who janitors, short order cook, waiters, dishwashers, who come to work every day. They love their job every day, but they don't make that much money. But every day you come in there, they might like, hey, how you, Dr. Harper? How you doing? But that kind of person like that every day. Like,
Wow.
I want to highlight those kind of people.
Yeah.
So they don't make that much money, but they still make everything work. They make the society work. But
Yeah.
they are unseen every day. They are unseen. People who are unseen, I'm trying to make them visible to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Your project, Take a Walk in My Shoes, actually was where we met here at that
Yeah.
exhibit. Tell us about the people, some of those folks that you photographed, and how do you get, I had a question follow up to Phillips, how do you get somebody to be genuine in a photograph rather than feeling like they have to do a fake smile or embarrassed about photography? But tell us about the folks you photographed. I remember those people I would see around town, but I'd never met them. So tell us about
That was the goal. That was the goal of it.
Right.
Got to normalize these people. So, like I said, going back to the gift of gab, it's very intimidating when somebody put a camera in your face. So one thing I always do is trying to get people in their own environment. Right. So I catch your own environment, you comfortable already. So like I'm gonna tell you the one guy, Mr. Let me see, Joe. So one day I had one of the guys in the project. This guy here named Mr. Joe, and I had went around town looking for people who want to be a part of the project, especially like homeless people. Cause I'm gonna buy them, like I'm gonna get their shoes, and I'm about to buy them another pair of shoes.
Right. So
I went to a church downtown. They feed they give lunch every day at 12 o'clock. And I had went down. I never knew who Mr. Joe was. Never knew him. So I had went the day before, and I was asking the people at the church, like, can I give somebody some shoes? Anybody need shoes? They had met Mr. Joe. So I went back out. He was out there that day. He was out eating lunch, and I photographed him right there eating lunch, like right there, like in his own spot, man. Like he never had done a photo taken of him. And
Wow.
and made me talk to him. I talked to him like a real person.
Yeah.
I didn't look down on them. I talked to them like a real person. And one of my favorite quotes is, "You never look down on nobody unless you reach down to help them up." So, in my job with Don, like you said, like some of the people you saw in the gallery, you saw before, but you never knew their story, never talked to them. And I want to normalize these people, man. It's like people living this, around Macon right now. They walk around every day, but nobody never know their story, know nothing about them. And then some of these people have amazing stories. Right. And I'm the guy just to go. I'm the kind of crazy guy to go ask me take a photo and let me talk to you.
You know, we interviewed our friend Jeff Batcher a few months ago. I hope you watched that video. If you haven't, you can go back on our YouTube channel and see it. But Jeff is he's involved down at Daybreak, and he was talking about one day there was a guy that he was down there, and he started talking to this guy, and he asked him his name. And then they had a conversation, and 20, 30 minutes later, the guy came up and he was crying. He said, "Well, what's wrong?" He said, "Because you call me by my name. I haven't heard anybody call me by my name in months." Wow. And so that says a lot. And what you're doing is calling those people by their name, and you know, it makes a world of difference for them, and it helps us too. So thank you for doing that.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you the impossible question. I mean, this has to be on par with asking you which kid is your favorite. Okay, this is impossible. The actual question is what photography, which picture have you taken is your favorite? All time, you can only pick one. The house is on fire. You can only grab one picture on the way out. Go. Which one is it?
Well, we said house on fire. You made I had a great ounce of comeback for that. So, well, I'm gonna say. My best photo is my Knicks photo, man. God, I don't think I have to my favorite one yet.
I think that's the perfect answer.
Yeah. My Knicks photo.
You just got, man.
We said house burning. I like, darn, man. I can't take no picture of the house burning in my mind. So like my Knicks photo, because I have taken some great photos of people, but it's a Knicks photo, man. Like I always like, wow, man, that's great. And then I was like, I could have did better here, could have did better there, but
wow.
It's so many great ones in there, but I think my next photo is my best photo. Right. That inspired me to keep on going. Never think about the past. You got to think about the future. So,
yeah.
If I think about my best one, I want to think about the next best one coming up. So,
we talked a little bit about growing up with your friends and how you're a survivor.
Yeah.
Because if you're not familiar, there are a lot of places. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in. It's a struggle for young men and women to grow up in this day and age, and you had some people that helped you overcome, which is part of your
Don't stop trying to overcome.
And so tell us about your vision, what you'd like to see happen in Pleasant Hill that would spread from there across the city from what you're doing.
Like, on the question I would ask myself, from what I'm doing, like, I'm just one person. Like, but who would be the next Dsto Moore? Who would be the next person doing what I'm doing, like telling these stories? So one of my goals is to maybe train some kids from not just Pleasant Hill, but other neighborhoods as well, because and tell those stories to the people in their neighborhood. Because some of the people, they'll never be on news, or they'll never be on newspaper. Nobody will never have nobody come interview them. But their stories matter too, though, man. So many stories out there matter, but never get the attention, though. I'm just one person. If I can train a group of other people and make our own, like they start highlighting the people in their families, or people in their neighborhood who matter to them, and let the world know about them. So that's my goal right there, to train other younger photographers to do that right there.
I think how we change the world is one person at a time, right?
Yeah.
It's relational.
Yeah.
And we have hope that we can offer, and we have a vision for where we want to go, and we can invite some people to come along with us, right?
Yeah. I got room for them.
Right.
That's great. Dr. Harper and I are both longtime Maconites. We've been here a really long time. Absolutely love the city. And one of the things that we've talked about fairly frequently is how the actual art scene in the past 10 years has just taken off. I mean, here we are, we're in the Macon Arts Alliance building right now that is across from City Hall. It's an incredible space that we have here. But you know, with this art scene taken off, how has that impacted you? How has it provided opportunities for you and in boosting your career? What has this art scene that has come alive so much in the past 10 years done for you?
The funny thing about the art scene is I went to my first art gallery like 5 years ago,
Wow.
and and I've been a part of numerous art galleries since then. The art scene in Macon is growing up, so like it's growing rapidly, and I love it, man. Like I believe one of the art community is so cool, and everybody's so helpful. Other artists who were doing it way before me, and I came to the art scene, they welcomed me with open arms and made me the artist who I am now. So,
Really? So
yeah.
so it's not like a competitive thing.
No.
These artists are there to help each other.
Yeah, I believe.
That's incredible.
Like I believe, like you might have like competitive here and there, like, but I believe we all here to help each other. It's all about each one teach one.
Yeah.
And sometimes I might be the only photographer in the whole gallery with painters or sculptures and all this stuff. So I kind of oddball looking in there, like, come on, Dsto, you still part of our team and everything. And I was about spreading love and positivity, so
Yeah.
I just fit right in with the whole culture.
You do a lot for the community, and people want to see more of your work. Are you in any gallery right now? Or when's the last, or when you got upcoming that you're going to be featured? Can you share any, or just about your website maybe?
Well, I'm like, right now I'm in the gallery up at Noonan, but just coming down a little while. But right now, not in Macon. I have nothing right now going on in Macon. But you want to see my work, you can go to www.dstomoore.com and see all my work I have been done over the years. It's always updating. I got a lot of stories on there. And the cool thing about my website, you click on the photo, you see their story and everything. So,
Can people purchase your photos?
so we can. That's a new thing coming to my website coming up soon.
All right.
To do that and everything, just sell the photos because I'm a one guy doing this. Sometimes I do a lot of stuff in heart. So if I sell photos, and I can also do more. And I can give more photos out to people too, though, man. Like sometimes I try to do like people who never had a photo of themselves, like especially like in Pleasant Hill. I always try to go get a print and frame it for them and give it back to them, man. But they can have like something they can have, man. Because like you said, when Jeff calls by their first name, by their name, they were so proud. Now I get somebody a photo, they're like, oh, I got a photo. Somebody really thought that much of me to take a free photo shoot with me and give me a print. Like, wow, man, I'm somebody.
Now you do weddings and other things too. Tell us about that. Are you?
I'm over on the
How do we book you? How do you get?
I'm on a website. Everything on the website. You can contact me through the website. So yeah, but I do more portrait stuff. I can't refer to some great wedding photographers, but I do it sometimes. That's not really my thing anymore. But
Portraits more.
Yeah, more portraits and everything, more storytelling. So a lot of people call my style real and raw.
Real and raw.
Yeah, so like real
it.
people, like real situations.
Hey, just idea. Do you do dogs?
I can recommend somebody. Cause it's so hard. It's kind of hard to do babies and pets.
Not babies.
Yeah. I think about like animals and infants. It's kind of hard to do those because they don't really pay attention. No,
That gift of gab doesn't work.
Nah, not really.
So, we're obviously a pro-Macon show. That's one of the
Yeah.
big reasons that Vein Specialists and Dr. Harper were wanting to invest in this. And out of curiosity, what's your favorite thing about Macon?
Great question, man. So much stuff, man. I want to leave nobody out. I love the people. I know sometimes on news or social media, sometimes they can get a bad rap, man. But there's so many great things going on in Macon, and in a way, I'm proud to be a part of the new Macon, like the art scene and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
I love everything about Macon, the people, the music, the food, just the love here in Macon. So much positivity here in Macon. So I love everything about Macon pretty much.
So, there's this show that we've started, it has really taken off. What started originally as just a social media show, we're now on WMGT. And so if you're watching on WMGT, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be here again next Saturday. And it's been a lot of fun, and it's really grown quickly. And inevitably, when there's this many people watching, there's going to be some young person out there that's going to connect with your story. They're going to say, man, I think I could be the next Dsto Moore. I just need a little guidance, a little direction. Where do you think you would push that person? If someone is wanting to be the next photographer, what's that next step? What do you think they need to do first?
Go for it. What they want to do, go for it. What you want to do in life, man, just start it, go for it. The 4 letters. Don't stop trying to overcome. That's it right there. Go for what you want to do. You don't live but one time. Don't worry about society things. You fall, you fail, get back up and try again. Keep on going for it. Look at my story. I'm here talking to you guys. I could have easily quit, but I kept on going. Go for what you want to go for.
Now, I wanted, in this month's Macon magazine, the one that just came to press, this one right here. Do you know who's featured back here?
My photos in there.
Yeah.
The photos of.
That's some of your photographs right
That's
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
So in this month's Macon magazine,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So you have a copy of this, don't
Oh
you?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably brought you a few.
Yeah,
but
I got a couple
That was awesome. Thank you for coming to share with us today. And we're fans. We want you all to be fans. I want you to find your passion, just like Dsto has, and how you can share your passion with other people to make a difference.
Last thing, Dsto, where can people go if they want to find out more about you?
You go to www.dstomoore.com.
Spell it out.
DSTOMOORE.com, or you Google me. Dsto Moore, you're number one person in the world with that name. And don't stop trying to overcome, man.
I love it. Dsto, thanks so much for joining us. This has been
Appreciate it.
fantastic. I can't wait to see what you do next. And thank you guys for watching with us at home. Stay tuned next Saturday at 8:30, only on WMGT. You never know where Dr. Harper and I might be.
I'm a nursing professor, mother of 4, and very active, playing in sports my entire life. After each pregnancy, my legs got worse, and I started running again to lose baby weight, but nothing helped how my legs looked. I was self-conscious in a bathing suit or shorts, and my legs ached after sitting or standing too long. That's when I went to vein specialists of the South. The ultrasounds they performed were very thorough, and they explained everything in detail. I knew then I picked the right place for vein care. During my procedures, I was never uncomfortable, and they played my favorite praise music the whole time. I can't say enough good things about the staff. I've never been to an office where everyone I came in contact with was smiling and happy to help in every way. I'm very happy with how my legs look now. It's a drastic difference, and I have confidence in myself again. If you need vein care, I encourage you to call Vein Specialists of the South today. It's the best choice you'll make.